What's up, YouTube? Back with another episode with Brush Strokes. And today I'm just going to do a little review and overview on my setup for painting. So I just got this new compressor about 2 months ago now. I've been using it for 2 months almost every single day, putting it through its paces to give a little feedback on it. So this is a Masterforce 30-gallon air compressor. It is from Mendards, which if you're not from the Midwest, you probably don't know what that is, but Mendards is basically your Home Depot or Lowe's. That's what we have here in the Midwest, so instead. But yeah, this is a 30-gallon, 55 or 155 PSI max, and it runs 6.3 CFM at 40 PSI, so yeah, it's 1.6 horsepower. It's been working great. No problems, no complaints, no issues. One thing I did modify is the drain. As you can see here, backside here had just like a twist drain, and my hand doesn't even fit under here, so I couldn't even get to it. I had to use 2 hands to get the drain done, so I just added a T-valve here, put that old drain on the back, and just ran the copper tube out to a little valve here, and then put a little 90-degree drop out. I just got a little tin here. Fills up with water, just take it over to my drain here in the floor, dump it out. Yeah, this thing's been working great for me. And just recently I decided, I got my old compressor too. Why not use that for auxiliary? So I added my 15-gallon Briggs & Stratton compressor here. And I'll just kind of give you a rundown of my whole setup. So coming out of here, out of my good tank, my new tank, I just got a little whip hose here. What I did to this tank to add as an auxiliary, it just has the, what is that, like the pressure release valve right here. That was coming out here. I just added a T, put that valve on there, and then just put my whip hose right into it. So, and then I have it coming out, coming over, feeding into my motor guard filter. I did add this. I always wanted to get one of these, but never really needed it when I was running my old oilless compressor, but saw another guy, Overspray, add this to his setup, and he had good results with it. So when I got this new compressor, I decided to pull the trigger and get the motor guard. But before that, I had some extra protection as well. I made this cooler here with some drop-off valves. The idea of this is air comes in and water's heavier, so it's going to be hard for it to travel uphill. So the water, any moisture in my line should catch in these drop-off valves, and I can always just dry them out. But I've never had any moisture go past number 2. Number 2 barely gets any moisture. Ever since I've changed my setup, since I've got my new compressor, actually, I've had no moisture in this, not even in this first one. But when I had my old oilless compressor, that thing produced a lot more moisture, and every once in a while I would have a little moisture in here, but I actually have 4 valves all the way across here. But yeah, so the idea of this is so they run uphill, so they come up, so it's going to be harder for the moisture to travel up and around and down. So it really worked really great. I actually had my little airbrush compressor hooked up to this. I have like a California Air, I think it's like a 10-gallon, like a little small quiet compressor that I use upstairs for my airbrushing. But yeah, this thing actually worked really, really good with the tiny little airbrush compressor as well. So yeah, and then I just have this coming out into a couple T's. So I have one hose here, that one goes to my booth. And then I got another hose that goes upstairs. I don't use my airbrush compressor anymore. I just plumbed some hose upstairs to go to my studio. And then I got another one over here, so in case I ever need to use any of my pneumatic tools over here, my little work area here. This is where I do some of my polishing or do some sanding in here too, since it's in my basement and I got my floor drain right here. And I do my sanding right here, and the floor is kind of creased and slanted right to the drain, so you can kind of see it's kind of ate away at the paint here. Kind of sit in water for, you know, long times while I'm sanding. Yeah, this is my little prep area over here. I got a nice little light in here. And all of my hoses too, I have them, this runs uphill, so harder for moisture to get up, and then it runs through the rafters over here into my booth. And then here's the hose that goes upstairs, that runs in the rafters there too, and then up my stairs there. So might as well show you my booth while we're here too, because it's made a few little updates. Added a shelf in here. I don't know if I had my window in here in the last booth video. I did. And then here's my tiny little booth. And I've actually measured it the other day. It is 5 foot 6 inches across, and then length it is 6 foot like 10 inches this way. And the ceiling is short too. It's only 6 foot 5 inches. So, and then I got my stairs here too, which kind of, I don't know if you seen me painting in my last video, I kind of painted myself into that corner. So I know you couldn't see it on the video, but I was ducked up in this corner too. So not only was I squeezed in the corner, I was also ducked. And then my last line of defense for water, and highly suggest it, be the fisheye filter. I actually did have this before I made that copper tubing, that air dryer thing that I just showed you. And this actually stops all, like 99.9% of any moisture or contaminants. And this thing actually shuts the air off to your line if it gets any moisture through it. They're like $50. You can get it at Eastwood. Fisheye filter, Coast airbrush. There's tons of places that sell this now, so they're amazing. And for $50, and I think filters are like $10 or $12, which I've only had the 2 original ones that come with it. You can actually take the filters out and let it dry out and reuse it. So yeah, I've only had the 2 filters that come with this, and this thing is a lifesaver. I don't even think I need any of that other, you know, moisture traps or anything. I mean, I just like having that safety and peace of mind, having all this extra protection. But yeah, but that's really all I had for you today. This compressor has been great so far. There was no reviews online. I couldn't find anything about this compressor, so I decided to just take a chance. So if you came here for, you know, for an opinion on the compressor, I paint a lot, and since the last 2 months since I've had this thing, I've painted almost every single day, and it's worked great. So no complaints. It's fairly quiet. Let's actually start it for you so you can hear it. And I don't know if you can hear me over it, but not really that bad. Give you a comparison here. Let's hook this one up real quick. You can do a quick little sound comparison here. That was so annoying. And that is so much better. But yeah, that's all I really had for you today. So yeah, if you want this compressor, get it. So that's all I had for you. If you have any questions, drop it down below in the comments and I will answer it. So until next time, keep those brushes stroking.